Now, this Independence Day, we present before you a report card of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's mission Gati Shakti. From expressways to airports, from railway stations to conquering outer space, India is rapidly moving towards progress and prosperity. We have travelled far and wide across the country to bring to you these ground reality of India's Gati Shakti projects. In the next 4 hours, we bring you these case studies. The first telecast is dedicated to the railway stations of our country. Under the Amrit Bharat Station scheme, there are at least 1,309 railway stations that are in the process of being developed. The Prime Minister has laid the foundation stone for redevelopment of 508 of these railway stations already. Now, funds worth 25,000 crores have been allocated for this mega project. One of the examples of the scheme is the Rani Kamlapati railway station in Bhopal. Let's quickly take a look at this transformation that has happened of Rani Kamlapati railway station.
May I have your attention?
Overcrowded platforms, pan-stained corners, garbage-infested railway stations, flies hovering around samosa and tea-selling stalls, an hour-long wait till the arrival of your train. This used to be the state of affairs of our railway stations. But the railway stations in India are fast transforming. Let's take you on a tour of the Rani Kamlapati railway station in the heart of Bhopal. It is undoubtedly one of India's world-class railway stations. It has a spick-and-span solar-powered multi-storied structure, scanners at entry gates for security checks, LED screens for train arrivals and departures, escalators to take you to the platforms, food courts and shopping centres, parking, hotel and a super speciality hospital, airport-style seating arrangement for more than 1,000 passengers, a railway station that looks and feels like an international airport.
इस वक्त ये तस्वीर आप देख सकते हैं मेरे पीछे, ये किसी एयरपोर्ट की नहीं, ये रेलवे स्टेशन की है और ये देश का पहला वर्ल्ड क्लास रेलवे स्टेशन है रानी कमलापति। इस रेलवे स्टेशन का शुभारंभ देश के प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी ने किया था।
Built at a cost of rupees 450 crores, Rani Kamlapati railway station provides all facilities to passengers. The railway station is equipped with elevators and lift for the convenience of the passengers. There are LED screens to provide information in multiple languages about train arrival and departure schedules. The food center and shopping center, as well as the kiosks, keep passengers entertained while waiting for their trains.
बहुत शानदार मुझे लग रहा है कि ये देश के अंदर एक अलग प्रकार का अद्भुत स्टेशन बना है, बहुत खूबसूरत है और एयरपोर्ट टाइप फीलिंग आ रही है।
बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है, बहुत ही अच्छा एयरपोर्ट स्टाइल में पूरा रानी कमलापति स्टेशन बना हुआ है। सब बढ़िया है, बहुत अच्छा है।
There are more than 1,500 CCTV cameras installed inside the premises for round-the-clock surveillance. There are over 100 police personnel present at all times to guard the railway station. The railway station is equipped with AC waiting rooms and a VIP lounge as well. There is a 36-feet foot-over bridge that has been built inside the railway station. There are 2 subways to divert passenger traffic. On any given day, 15,000 people pass through these subways. The railway station is fully equipped with a parking area, dormitories, a convention centre and even a super speciality hospital. It is no surprise then that Rani Kamlapati railway station was picked to flag off 5 Vande Bharat Express trains by the Prime Minister earlier this year. This railway station has been renamed after the Gond Queen, Rani Kamlapati. With Kulbhushan Saxena, Bureau Report, NewsX.
Alright, now quickly giving you a brief synopsis and an idea about what the railway station development transformation is the government's pitch and its vision. There are some, like I said, 25,000 crore that has been allocated for the redevelopment of some 1,300 and more of these projects that have been undertaken under Prime Minister's mission. Now, quickly taking a look at the before and after images of these redevelopment projects that have been envisaged already by the government. Now, here you say Bapu Dham Motihari railway station. This is in Bihar. This is the image of the railway station, is what it looks like currently. When quickly taking a look at what it will change to after the transformation that takes place. Can we quickly put out that visual? Yes. So this is the Bapu Dham Motihari railway station, and this is the new transformational look that is being projected under this mega scheme. Quickly taking a look at the next railway station. Alright, now this is the New Delhi railway station. This is the look of the New Delhi railway station before the transformation takes place, and quickly taking a look at the next image. Now, this is an avant-garde futuristic look of the New Delhi railway station. It's hard to believe that this is going to be the railway station, that the New Delhi railway station is going to look like, but there you have it. There's Kota railway station. This is in Rajasthan. This is the before image, and quickly taking a look at this is exactly what it is now going to look like after this redevelopment work takes place. Taking a look at the next railway station, Coimbatore North railway station in Tamil Nadu. That's what it looks like currently. This structure has been there for decades together now, since independence, and now this is what it is going to look like. Very neat and clean, spick and span structure that has been created. A Cuttack railway station in Odisha is what it used to look like earlier, and quickly taking a look at what it looks like now. Here, what it will look like in the future after the redevelopment work takes place. Quickly taking a look at the next graphic. Visakhapatnam railway station. This is in Andhra Pradesh. This is what it looks like. And in the next image that we present to you is what it is going to look like in this mega structure that is going to be created. Let's take a look at the next railway station. Jaipur Junction railway station in Rajasthan. This is an old school railway station structure, and here you have it, the new look railway station. It looks palatial, going by the theme of Rajasthan and their kings and their massive. This is the Jaipur Junction railway station. This is what it's going to look like after this redevelopment takes place. So this is a very grand Grandua structure that has been created. Now, Kurda railway station in Odisha, this is what it looks like, and what it is going to be transformed into is what you see on our screen. Alright, now that we've taken a quick look at how the railway stations are going to be redeveloped, where these funding is going to be infused, quickly getting in our panelists and discussing more about this transformation journey that our railway stations are now going to get into, also keeping in mind how necessary it had become, and why is it that the previous governments did not put their attention in this very important, very integral and much needed transformation. Let's quickly get in my panelists on the telecast. Do we have Ramakrishnan TS? He is an IIMA doctorate in public systems. He works on transport policy, rail transport, logistics and public finance. It's good to have you on the telecast, sir. And you know, for your reaction, and what do you think as a railway expert about this vision of the current government and the funds that are being infused? How long are these projects going to take in transforming some 1,300 of our railway stations?
Well, so I mean, since Modi government took over in 2014, the government has been focusing on spending on railway infrastructure, both online infrastructure, rolling stock, as well as station development. So far they have spent almost around 15 lakh crores in the last 9 years, and this is the station development is an integral part of the development of Indian Railways, and the basic aim of this railway station redevelopment is that some of the stations are extremely highly congested, and then they are unable to cater to the maximum demand, maximum footfall that is happening at some specific hours. So they wanted to make a dramatic shift towards managing the crowd in the railway stations. Moreover, with the arrival of Vande Bharat train, which can travel back again without changing the locomotive and all. So unlike the regular railway, train, here it doesn't have to change the loco. It can go back to its origin point without changing the loco. So all these things will add up to the efficiency of the railway stations. How many trains that they can handle in a particular day and all. So when the influx of the passengers, both ingress and egress, what I'm saying is the passengers reaching to the station and then passengers leaving from the station. So when it is going to increase substantially, so you need to modernize the railway station, and this is an integral part of the whole developmental plan. So I can't say why it was not done by the previous governments, but this government has been very much focused on this, and railway development is the pet theme of the Prime Minister since 2014, and they have been spending so enormously on redeveloping on various projects, and hopefully it will give benefits to the railways in the next term, most probably between 2024 and 29, not before that.
Okay, all right. I'm going to quickly get in Sadanand Pawar, who's also on the telecast with me now. Mr. Pawar, the foundation stones have already been laid for some 308 of these railway stations. The expected timeline of completion of these projects, of these 308 railway stations, is I think 1 to 1.5 years. How feasible is this time limit to complete these projects?
Well, the feasibility seems to be at the moment, whatever developments are going on and the way the work is going on in all these railway stations seems to be achievable, barring few snags which are likely to be happening. That is basically the impact of the global economy slowdown. At the same time, to some extent, in getting the raw material from the outside world. That has been a primary challenge, but at the same time, I think according to me, 80 to 90% of the work in the next 1 to maximum 1.5 years, it should be getting through.
Okay. So then, what about this mega project? Is it going to take another 10 years for all these 1,300 of these railway stations to develop? Also, my concern is that these are railway stations that have been built even before 1947. And it's been decades together now that no changes have been made. While there have been certain improvements by way of escalators and lifts that have been put up in certain railway stations, it is required. We used to have this coolie system, and we continue to do that, and it has been going on, like I said, even before 1947. This system needs to be changed and transformed. Now, in doing so, like the Delhi railway station, it's very congested in that area, and is it possible to completely raise that structure down and then set up a new structure, and what are the challenges that the architects and the civil engineers will have to face?
Yes, predominantly as an architectural firm which we own, there is certainly a challenge. The first challenge is certainly the inflow of the passenger has increased almost 20x, the management language. So that is really not taking the full-fledged efficiency which any railway station should have. If at all they want to expand the railway station area, the land occupation would be one of the major challenging tasks, and the present, the local government of AAP may not be really in a position to support it. The third basic thing is, at the end of the day, it is a convenience of the passengers, because the quantum of passenger has increased almost 60 times right from the 1947. So you can imagine these railway stations were built by the Britishers, and most of these railway stations were with the thought process of at least 50 years horizon. But now the kind of a population which is increasing, the kind of a inflow from rural India to urban area which is getting in. So one needs to have the horizon of having a sub railway station. The way Navi Mumbai, you must have seen Mumbai and Navi Mumbai. Now the airport was there very much in Mumbai. Now the new airport is taking place, which is almost 20-30 kilometers from the heart of the Mumbai.
Correct.
So these kind of advancement must have been done, and I'm sure the Modi government is doing the needful for these things.
Okay. Aman Agarwal, now keep taking a look at the economics of it all and how complicated this process is in terms, having these brownfield projects versus greenfield projects. I think greenfield projects are easier to accomplish because you started from the scratch. Brownfield projects is something will be harder because you'll have displacement, you'll have to ensure that the existing ecosystem is not affected so much. And while we are looking at progress and prosperity and the image that we want to showcase and provide these amenities to locals and to the foreign nationals, at what cost is it that we are looking at making these transformations?
I think you raise very pertinent questions. First of all, when you talk about 1,300 stations throughout the country, if you're wanting to do that, the government has the possibilities and the fund requisitions which could be raised and built, both in a public-private partnership mode, but it will take a span of about 20 years, in my opinion, to actually get all the 1,300 on road. And by that time, things would be different. We may not have railways as a key mode as it is today. There may be other modes which are already in progress, like the waterways and even the airways, which has taken a large toll of the flow of traffic across the country and even globally. Now, that is one component. The second is, as far as space constraints are concerned, I lived in New York when I was pursuing my MBA at Columbia University, and I remember the metro stations and the metro structure and the railways which have been created there in New York, which is a very small island in the Manhattan, basically. So creating framework without expanding the space in a place like Delhi is not a critical component when such large amount of funds are actually being allocated for creation. It's actually creating frameworks wherein you create marketplaces and structures built in so that they are self-sustaining and, in due course, reap revenue to actually upgrade them from time to time, instead of just creating frameworks which will only be a monumental structure which will be in the pace before that they created a railway station and it became a landmark for the whole city, as a matter of fact. And even today in large parts of the country, small towns, it is a landmark and a monumental framework which is there. Apart from that, I think we need to make them more functional and economically viable, and that is possible. We have seen the metro stations where they tried to create similar frameworks, but it is still not fully functional in that form.
Yeah.
So the government needs to look at that. As far as creating them is not a complication, getting it up is not a complication. We've already test run them on the airports as well as some of the railways. And so getting it into the modern framework, it is important, and it is the heart of the country because it connects the smallest possible town in this country even today. So this network is the largest network in the world, still very functional. It's only a question of giving that facility to the common man, to the last on the mile, and that advantage the government is willing to give and is projecting through its framework.
Okay, all right. Joining me also on the telecast is Sumit P. Sumit P, this is the larger vision of the Gati Shakti, where there are some 15 of these ministries who are working together, and the Urban Affairs Ministry, the Housing Ministry is at the forefront of this development, and talk about the Railways Ministry is at the forefront of this railway station redevelopment. The question I ask you is about the keeping this entire development work on a standstill by the previous governments, and the move that has been made in 2023. Had this been done back in the 60s, back in the 70s, we would not be in a situation where we still have railway stations that are smelly, that have garbage strewn all across, there are pan stains, people don't have places to sit in, and there are a lot of problems and issues. Even in you go to the toilets, you would not really want to go over there. And the situation hasn't really changed in the last 75 years that we have been free.
Megha ji, thank you very much for having me on your show. Very happy Independence to you and all our panelists and viewers. In fact, if you look at the potential of the railway, give me a minute more today because it's very important. If you look at the potential of the railway, it can be a game-changer industry or a service for India. Indian Railway is one of the biggest in top 3 biggest railway networks in India. Indian Railway is one of the top 3 employers in the whole world. Indian Railway consumes 2% of the total power produced. Indian Railway transport, I think, 60 million people in a day. That is the number I remember. And recently, if you look at the revenues of the Indian Railway, the freight is up by 28% and the overall revenues are up by 38%. So railways always had a potential. We have mismanaged the railways before Prime Minister Modi. We were only interested in running a train to my village, to my district, to my taluka, to my grandfather's village, to my sasural. Garib Rath chalao, ye chalao, wo chalao. That was the mindset. Now, if you look at the total stations, we have around 9,000 stations in India. Now, Aircon is already working on a PPP model where these all stations need to be revamped. The vision of Prime Minister Modi, which Ashwani Vaishnavji shared, is railway station should not be a railway station. It should have a railway station, it should have a commercial space, it should have an office space, it should be the center point of any town or a small city. People going to railway should be able to enter, and people who are not going to railway should have those all facilities which are available to them. And let me tell you, Railways is the richest company because it has the highest number of land banks in India. There is nobody who has so much land in all of India. And if you look at the valuation of these land banks in today's price, it's a multi-trillion-dollar industry. And if you are able to revamp these stations, look at the Vande Bharat trains, look at the things, everything will change. Let me take you quickly to Gati Shakti. Ma'am, the idea of Gati Shakti is as follows. Today, the logistic cost of India is around 14.5%, which is one of the highest in the world. And that systems are not very efficient. Now we are developing dedicated freight corridors and rail corridors. What are we going to do? The logistic cost of Germany is lowest in the world at 4.5%. Now, after the Gati Shakti is operational with 75 dedicated terminals and cargo, freight corridors and all, the time will be lessened, the cost will be lessened. What will our cost come to? 5.5–6%. That means the Indian industry, which still uses rail as a main source of transportation, Indian exports and all, will become very viable by around 8–9%. And now what are we targeting? By 2030, services $500 billion and goods $1.5 trillion. Remember, we have already done $770 billion of exports this year. So Bharat Mala, Sagar Mala, and a lot of products are developed. So to facilitate that, industrial corridors, semiconductors, we need dedicated freight corridors. We need this Gati Shakti. With this, we will be able to meet that benchmark. And trust me, ma'am, if we are able to revamp these 9,000 stations, it might take time. I'm not saying it will happen tomorrow. Imagine the amount of money railway can generate. Yeah. For Goa, those days railway was, bleeding. Goa, those days railway was giving, you have to put millions of dollars into railway. Railway is self-sustaining. They're making money. They're a profitable organization. Yet, we transport goods and services cheapest in the world. There is no service in the world which is cheaper than Indian Railways. And if you look at Vande Bharat, the quantum of money you're paying and the amount of services you're getting, that is gone. Forget those days of Eurorail and all. Forget those Amsterdam stations. They're outdated now, they're vintage now. The time has come. If you look at hydrogen-based technology, we are the leaders. If you look at green revolution, we are the leaders. If you look at who has got the orders of 461 railway engines, where we were net importer of railway engines, is India. Where are the metro coaches for America and Canada going? They're going from us. And our Kapurthala railway factory, coach factory recently has done a benchmark of, I don't remember, it's 10,000 or 100,000, 1 lakh ka benchmark. They have made those coaches. That is one factory. See the potential, see the endurance. Now we are building railway links to J&K. We are bringing them to Ladakh. We are going anywhere. We have challenged the limits. Prime Minister Modi believes in breaking the thought barrier. This was a thought barrier. Railway station hai, ganda hoga, toilet nahi chalega, sab kuch hoga. But when you change that thought barrier, when you bring the people's expectations, then people demand work. Why a railway station to be less than a typical airport? Look at the amount of footfall we have in a railway station. If we can capitalize that commercially, all of these
absolutely. I'm going to quickly get in Ramakrishnan again on the telecast, and when you talk about European railway stations, and when I compare to the one railway station that has been completely redeveloped, this is in Bhopal, this is Rani Kamlapati railway station. I'm going to quickly put out those visuals of Rani Kamlapati railway station, and there are escalators, you have the lifts, You have LED screens. It's pick and span. In fact, you have a super speciality hospital inside it. There's a hotel inside it. There are restaurants and food stalls. It doesn't look like a railway station. It looks like an international airport. And compared to several of these European railway stations, they don't even have an escalator. They don't even have a lift. You have to carry those heavy luggage bags up the staircase, and that can be a tedious task. And if we are looking at the future of India and the future of railway stations in India, our infrastructure would be second to none other.
That only. So that is the reason for developing Indian Railways on all fronts, including the rolling stock, including the station development, as well as the physical infrastructure, tracks and bridges. So there is no second thought about it. But since there are certain issues that needs to be taken care while doing the station redevelopment. Although the commercial space development is a good idea and it is to be welcomed, but that is not the sole criteria in redeveloping the station. The first and foremost purpose of this station redevelopment is functionality. When I say functionality, the ingress-egress time of the passenger should be low. So people can, all the modes should be available at the railway station, whether it is car or bus, or for that matter two-wheelers, or for that matter cabs. Anything, though they must be able to come closer to the railway station, and then there must be a seamless connectivity between the platform and people who wanted to go out of the station, or people who wanted to come inside the station.
Correct.
So, and moreover, nowadays what happened is the elderly people who are traveling by train has increased substantially, and certainly they need kind of modern facilities so that the pain involved in moving from inside the station towards the platform is reduced substantially.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely right. Okay, I'm completely out of time, but I appreciate all of you for joining me on the telecast, sharing your perspectives and coming together for this implementation of the vision that is Gati Shakti, and the focus that we bring in this episode about the railway stations and their metamorphosis.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.